Welcome back. You with FBC Sports. Tavua and Savu are out of the battle of the giants, and Nandrunga has been given the last spot in the top 8. As Shalvin Chand reports, one team isn't taking it too well.
It all came down to a protest decision allowing Nandrunga a spot at the BOG.
Nandrunga had filed a protest against Tavua for fielding an ineligible player, and the board considered the decision last night and made the decision in favor of Nandrunga.
Savu was down and out, not even a contender with only 2 points after the first round of play in the National League. Tavua, Navua and Nandrunga were left fighting for the last 2 spots. After last week's games and the protest decision yesterday, Nandrunga and Navua came out winners.
Naturally, Nandrunga is a better team to make top 8 team, and we are satisfied with day 1 and very confident that we'll go through in Super 8 tournament in BOG.
The boys from Tavua aren't happy with Fiji FA's decision.
I think I've already indicated to Fiji FA that I'll be taking this matter to arbitration to challenge the decision.
So it will be Suva, Mba, Lotoka, Lambasa, Rewa, Nandi, Navua and Nandrunga in this year's BOG, which is doubling up as a trial for 90-minute soccer tournaments. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
The Southern Zone Secondary Schools rugby competition has reached the quarterfinals. 3 new schools are giving the big guns something to worry about as teams fight for a place in the national championship. Elena McDonald has the details.
32 teams will battle for a spot in next week's semi-finals. There are a few underdogs challenging the top schools as they chase down their first major title.
AUG, we are looking forward to that game because that is a team that we have been observing. Champagne and Colombo. These are the 3 new teams that are coming into our competition.
While the most attention is usually paid to the seniors, this year stiff competition is expected from the younger grades.
Under 14, the under 15. That is where we normally win during these finals here.
And while everyone loves a winner, officials are planning something special for all players.
To take all our under 14 right up to our under 18 grades over to the loft, and our under 17 will go for one overseas tour, which is to Australia.
Of the 16 schools that have competed in the Southern Zone competition, 13 have made it to the Southern Zone quarterfinals that will be played here at the Suva Grammar School grounds on Saturday. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
In tennis, the 3rd Grand Slam tournament of the year is underway. Top players from around the world have converged at Wimbledon and upsets have already been recorded. Here's a wrap of the first day.
The 126th Wimbledon Championship started under fairly clear skies in southwest London, and we didn't have to wait long either for the first shock result. On number 2 court, Venus Williams was totally out of sorts against Russia's Elena Vesnina. A 6-1, 6-3 defeat was Venus's first in the opening round since her Wimbledon debut 15 years ago. She's been suffering fitness problems and says she may have worked too hard qualifying for the Olympics.
I'm really proud of my efforts to get my ranking up for the Olympics. That was one of the toughest things I've ever done in my life. And so now I don't really feel that much pressure, to be honest. I want to win, but you know, after going through that was hard.
There were no problems though for Maria Sharapova. The world number 1 beat Anastasia Rodionova 6-2, 6-3 on centre court. The men's number 1, Novak Djokovic, also made a winning start as he aims to defend the title he won for the first time last year. Djokovic was on top form against veteran Spaniard Juan Carlos Ferrero, a former world number 1 himself, and won in straight sets 6-3, 6-3, 6-1. Djokovic enjoyed playing as reigning champion in this year's very first match on centre court.
It is great for a change, you know, because in tennis we don't really have that many cases that we know exactly what time we're playing, usually 2nd, 3rd after 11 or things like that. So it was great, you know, the grass was untouched, it was so soft, so smooth, and it was great to play in.
Six times champion Roger Federer dropped just 3 games in a straight sets win over Wimbledon debutant Albert Ramos. And while it won't make the headlines of Venus Williams, there was arguably a bigger shock in the men's draw as number 6 seed Thomas Berdych went down to Ernest Gulbis.
With Euro 2012 on a 2-day break, fans of the 4 semi-finalists are already making big plans. However, how far can you go to support your team? Here's more from Al Jazeera.
Seeing Portugal play never gets old for George Franco and Carlos Brun. The two friends have missed only 1 game in the last 12 years, and they're hoping that at these Euros, they'll finally see their team win a major trophy. But the road to the championships has been a long and bumpy one, especially for George, who cycled all the way to Poland from his home in Portugal.
It's my team. I'm crazy from Portugal. Yes, people don't believe it, but it's because Portugal have a difficult group, and then I think, okay, why don't go for bicycle?
It took George 37 days to make the 3,600-kilometre trip from his home outside Lisbon. Alongside him, his friend Carlos, providing moral and practical support in a colourful van, specially converted for cooking and sleeping. The pair see themselves not only as die-hard fans, but also as ambassadors for their country, handing out Portuguese gifts to the curious.
Thank you very much.
Making plenty of friends along the way.
Well, how's that for team loyalty? That is your sports news for tonight.